ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday, and we have been busy recently because I think since the last live stream we've gone up by 2,000 subscribers, which is amazing, and I think 242,000 subscribers at the moment. So let me bring this up on screen because I did just prepare that when getting this stream ready. So thank you guys for subscribing, joining in, commenting, hitting that thumbs up, all of that cool stuff. It is massively appreciated. And a big shout out to you guys over on Patreon. Let me get the names of my patrons up on screen instantly, and let's get you guys up on screen. But let's see who is in the live chat room tonight. We have Charlie, Jennifer, Tom, Bev, and the Shawnee Key. Billy's in there, Lisa, Rebecca, Sue as well, and I think Susan and Dennis are about to go through as well. Bob's in the house, Maria, Patrick. And let me see, Rocker Girl, Green Eyes, Cynthia, Corey, hello. Thank you for joining me on this live stream. And by the way, my patrons, they are the reason that this is even happening in the first place because of their support over on patreon.com. So a massive shout out to these lovely people at the bottom of the screen. So we're going to be getting everything up on screen as we normally do. Let's see where our likes goal is set at tonight. 325 is what we are aiming for. So let's see where we are at the moment. 165 likes already, so thank you for hitting that thumbs up. And if you haven't used your thumbs up token, if you can use that, it would be much appreciated as you come through the door to start the live stream. We're aiming for the 325, some large targets coming around now during the live streams, but this means that if we do hit it, then we'll have the pick roulette next week. We're always looking to have a pick roulette, hence the reason why we're trying to hit these likes goals. And on the roulette front, tonight is going to be the first night where we have a book roulette to pick up Phil Palmer's book, Session Man, and I interviewed Phil recently on the channel. Check out that if you haven't already, but you can pick up his book if you did enter into that roulette last week. But never fear, we will be doing it again next week. So at the end of tonight's live stream, after the pick roulette and the book roulette and then the t-shirt roulette, if we even land on a t-shirt tonight, if you stay tuned, then you can enter in for all of the roulettes going on next week if we do hit that goal of 325. So keep on hitting that thumbs up and we'll see where we end up. So it has been a busy time on the channel. Obviously, when the subscriber count increases quite a lot over a short period of time, it means that things do get very busy for me with emails, answering comments and all those kinds of things. But it is great that, I mean, it's a bit of a crazy number now. I mean, over 200,000 is just crazy anyway, but closing in on 250,000 maybe, who knows, we will see, and we'll just keep on pushing forward and see where we end up. As I've always said, as long as there are requests for videos, I will keep on making them. And certainly we've been having some really interesting videos from different angles recently with Julie Andrews just showing that she was that good live. And even today I still had a comment that somebody said on the video where I'm explaining how it is live, they still said that it's obviously lip synced. So I don't know what you can do. And I did a video on Elvis Presley's guitar playing where somebody said, oh, he's obviously faking playing the guitar. So then I did another video where we go through all of the chords, all of the shapes, and we just slow it down and look at Elvis's hand positions to show that he's definitely playing the guitar, that he's not faking playing. And some people said, I think after that video they realized that it wasn't obvious to them, but they could now see that he was actually playing the guitar, and that when he said that he couldn't play guitar, it wasn't that he couldn't actually play the chords, it was that he didn't see himself as a guitarist, as somebody who could compete at any kind of level of playing lead guitar and all those kinds of things. So yeah, occasionally I do a follow-up video just to show that what people often don't give artists credit for, they are actually doing. And it's an interesting video to look at sometimes in that light, just give people credit where it is due for their performances. But anyway, like I said, very interesting videos with the pitch monitor as well. We've been busting that out recently. That really does help to show up on screen what I can hear and what a lot of people can hear who are maybe singers themselves or musically inclined or into analyzing things. So it's good for people to be able to see that up on the screen. So a welcome addition. I did get a comment from somebody who said, I think it was on a video that I did maybe 2 years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, and they said, oh, why isn't the pitch monitor up on screen? And I know that a lot of people will now take that for granted, but it was purely the case that the technology didn't exist a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. This kind of thing couldn't be done. So this is why it's only really appearing on the latest videos, because just I've now got access to it, and it's something that's only really taken off, I think, probably in the last 6 months to a year. For, I mean, first of all, for the technology to be available, but then for people to even know about it and know how to use it and that kind of stuff. So that is something that I do with my videos. It isn't just an isolated vocal that I'm getting from somebody else on their channel or somebody else who's uploaded it. I'm isolating the vocal with software myself and then analyzing it and using the pitch monitoring software and doing that myself, getting that app, and then I'm synchronizing the vocal with the pitch monitoring software, which is another step. So it's a multi-step process to get to the stage where we can now look at it on screen on a pitch monitor as a line. That's something that I put together throughout the day. It takes me probably 3 or 4 hours to stick together just the pitch monitor video on the right hand side of the screen. Obviously the other video I can just crop it and take it from YouTube and then obviously put it into Final Cut Pro 10 and get that up on screen, but then the right hand side of it is a little bit more complicated, but I just like to have it all on screen ready for the analysis video. So it is unfortunately not something that you can just do at home instantly and see the result that I get, because that takes a little while to put it all together. But you can download the app and sing into it so that you can see where your voice sits, or you can even talk into it so you can see where your talking voice sits. And that's always a great idea if you're looking for where your range sits, where your comfortable range sits vocally. If you talk at a particular pitch, then that's where you want to start singing, and more often than not you will be able to get higher than that, because we naturally raise and lower our voice depending on our emotions that we're feeling at the time. So it's a good tool to use just for that. It's called pitch monitor, actually vocal pitch monitor, I think that's what it's called, on the App Store. That's an Android app, so you can download that. Definitely something to get into. Another comment, I'm just remembering comments at the beginning of tonight's live stream, but somebody else said, I've always wanted to sing, but I've never tried to sing, and I feel like I'm too old now to start singing. And I did reply to them and said, if you can talk, then you can sing. If you can make a noise with your vocal cords that is comfortable, then you can sing. And that's something that, again, people don't realize that a lot of the great singers weren't actually singing out of their talking range. They just used all of the notes that they had at their disposal, and that's why they got such a great tone. They were never straining for notes because it just all sat in that vocal space. So yeah, a great little exercise to go through. Get that pitch monitor app and just talk into it and see where the line is. Look at the notes on the left hand side, and then you can start to have a go at singing there and apply some vibrato to your talking voice. I've always said that if you struggle to sing, the first thing you want to do is just imitate a computer, or like a Dalek on Doctor Who, if you've ever watched that, where they just talk at the same pitch all the time and it sounds like a robot. If you can do that, you are hitting a pitch that is maintaining a pitch, and then you can start to go a little bit higher, and if you want to, a little bit higher than that, and you're now hitting those pitches. And that is the first step to singing, because you are manipulating your vocal cords to pitches. And when you have a pitch monitor app for reference, it means that you can start seeing where the notes are and just speak your computer voice on a note. Try and get it as close to one of those lines as you can and maintain it. And then once you've done that, just add a little bit of vibrato, which will be if I'm saying here and then wobbling that note, just going sharp and flat, sounding a bit like a car trying to start up, going That's what vibrato is when you slow it down, and you can start applying that. So yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's all about taking small steps at a time, but you can get yourselves into singing if you want to. So anyway, let's get everything up on screen. Started out with a little bit of a description of singing and technique and all that kind of stuff, but on these live streams we do pretty much talk about everything. As I see 234 up on the screen, 234, we are having a little bit of a spike of the likes, so thank you guys for that. We can still do with a few more likes if possible. Let me try and work out how many we need. 111, is that it? We're aiming for 325 and it's 234. I don't know if that's right or not. Hopefully it is. I don't think, I mean, that was off the top of my head, and right, 235, that makes it more easy, does it? Yeah, so 110, I believe, in order to, is it 110? Or maybe it's not 110, maybe it was 90. I don't know, my maths is not very good. I chose to look at the likes at just the worst time. 234 is not a very good number for me to try and be working out things, but it looks like, or maybe it was 90, so maybe it was like 89, and, oh, that was 245, so it means that it was 80. That was a little bit easier for me to work out, so 80, just about got there in the end. But anyway, thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up and making my job very difficult, working out how many likes we need. But we are looking for quite a few more people, and 25, and this is 250, so that is 75 people we're looking to join into that live chat room before the end of the live stream and hit that thumbs up to get us to our target to have a pick roulette next week. But we are moving along quite nicely. So I know that there have been donations, so thank you guys for those, and I'm just going to refresh the screen because we did have one or two that came in before we went live. So I'm just refreshing the super chat window so that I can actually grab these, because they disappear when we go live on YouTube, unfortunately, so I have to grab them from YouTube Studio. But I have got them, and Paul donated $2. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message was, hello all y'all, please spike those likes. So great idea there from Paul. If you can give that thumbs up a click, it'll be much appreciated. And just, I mean, usually we plug the mug when Orlando is in the house, but we're going to do it with Paul tonight because we have these spike the likes on the other side of the mug. If you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, make sure that you click on the tray underneath this video. There's also a link in the description below where you can get your hands on the mugs, the hoodie, the zipped hoodie like I'm modeling tonight, the t-shirts, all of that cool stuff, caps. Head over to the spring.com store, click on that link in the description and you'll be good to go. So thank you for that, Paul. And Jennifer has donated $15, and thank you for this, Jennifer. And it looks like it's a double donation that maybe went through twice, so just let me know if that was an accident or not. But the message says, hi Phil, just needed a smile and some laughs. My only remaining brother is in hospital. Hope your arm is doing better. Take care. So thank you for that, Jennifer, and just best wishes to your brother. Hopefully everything works itself out and then it's not going to be too serious. But thank you for that donation, and the other donation that came in straight after that as well for $15 again. And yes, thank you for asking about my arm. It's slowly but surely getting better. This is the problem with tendons, is they take a long time for the body to try and figure out how to make a tendon. I mean, muscles, it can repair quite quickly. Bone, surprisingly, it can repair quite quickly over the course of maybe 12 weeks, something like that. But tendon, it's like the kryptonite of the body. That, I mean, it is such a complex thing to try and make because of the varying amount of pressures that it has to adapt to with the muscle, and obviously being attached to bone and then muscle. It means that it's connecting to two totally different types of organ. It's not really an organ, but you know what I mean. It's two totally different types or strengths or materials. Muscle is so different to bone, so this is why it does struggle. So it's going to take quite a long time, but I am just resting it, and I know that it is improving just because of tiny things where it's not twinging and I'm not feeling pain where I used to. For example, and this is how, I mean, it gives you an appreciation of the tiny difference in the healing and the healing that it's gone through. Obviously, I'm isolating it all day, trying not to move it, using the speech to text to put things on and answer emails, but to put things on the computer to type it in, yeah, is a very long process, just using my left hand, typing like that. But just holding a toothbrush, before I couldn't do that with my right arm, but now I can do that with my right arm. So it means that the tendon has healed sufficiently to take the weight of a toothbrush, which I know it's not exactly heavy, but that's the difference that I'm noticing, that I can now do that after probably 3 or 4 days just keeping my arm in a sling for the whole day and then having it in this support that I set at 90 degrees. So when I'm sleeping, my arm doesn't ever come out of 90 degrees. It doesn't get any less than that or more than that. So when we go, like when you outstretch your arm, for example, if I did that, it would totally wreck my right arm. So that's what I have to avoid when I'm sleeping. So that's why I just have a support on that locks it in position. But it is working so far. Fingers crossed. I'm just going to keep on not moving it and just get the range of motion back first. If I can just get the full range of motion back without any pain, then that would be fantastic. And then I can start working at very slight, I mean, even to the point of holding a toothbrush and now getting the range of motion. I need to just build it up really slowly. But the good news is, over the last day or two, it's been really positive in that I haven't felt any twinges. I'm starting to be able to supinate and pronate with my hand and my wrist. So that's good news as well, because I'm not feeling the same dull ache of pain that I'm getting around the tendon. If anything, I'm getting the nerve in the joint that's now starting to kick off a bit, and I don't mind that at all. If I'm now starting to feel pain with the nerve, it means that the tendon now isn't as much of an issue. It's just going to be a case of me working out that nerve, because again, that nerve goes through the joint exactly around where that medial epicondyle is. So if I'm starting to get some pain in the elbow from my nerve, then yeah, I'm all for that. I don't mind, because it's actually quite refreshing from the tendon pain to not feel the tendon anymore. So anyway, let's keep on keeping on with it, and we'll see where we end up. But thank you, Jennifer, for that and asking about my arm. Stardust Unicorn has donated $1.49. Thank you for that. And there is a picture of a unicorn with that donation. So thank you for that. Support band to Wings of Pegasus, as I always say. And Ro Blake has donated $4 as well. Thank you for that. And it's a guy with what is either a big mug of wine or some summer fruit squash. Thank you for that, Ro Blake, in that super chat window. So let me just jump over to PayPal, because I do like to address all of the donations, even between the live streams, because we do have 2 or 3 that come through between the live streams that we do. So first of all, Lucretia donated £7.32. So thank you for that. And Lucretia says Keaton Place on YouTube, and says, you are amazing. So thank you for that. And Keaton Place, that's the username. So we'll look out for Keaton Place in the live chat room. But thank you for that, or even in the comment section of the analysis videos. But thank you for that donation. And I'm just going to click to make sure I get to the next one. And this was from Amy, who donated £5. So thank you for that, Amy. And let me just, I mean, this was actually yesterday. It was Sunday that those 2 donations came in. So thank you for those ones. And yesterday we had a donation at 10 to 11 in the evening. And I guess yesterday was still Tuesday. It's now Wednesday here because it's, you might just see it on the clock up in the corner. It's 25 minutes past midnight here in the UK, which means it's now Wednesday. So when it says it was yesterday, it actually means that it's Tuesday, which means it wasn't very long at all. And it was at 10 to 11 earlier tonight. So thank you for this, Steve. And let me get this up on screen so you guys can see it as well. Let me get the PayPal donations thing up on screen so you guys can see the percentages. That 35 to 45% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and then 3 to 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal window. So thank you for this, Steve, for £5. And the message is, let me just scroll down so we can see it. How do you create and make the surf guitar sound work? It is a real favourite of mine. So thank you for that, Steve. And I haven't done a lot of surf guitar in my time, but if you're listening to the classic surf guitar kind of tone, first of all, reverb, you're going to need a fair amount of that because that's just a standard on the sound. And what you want to do is try and go for a clean tone. You want to start off clean, so obviously your technique is going to have to be quite good. You want to make sure that everything you're playing, you're fretting properly, that you've got good alternate picking on the right hand, that you can pick all of your notes, get them to pop out. But with the tone, you want to start clean and just experiment with adding a tiny bit of crunch to it. And I mean, when I say crunch, what I mean is a tiny bit of distortion, but not to the point where it now sounds like distortion. You just want to affect that clean tone ever so slightly. So that's pretty much, if I was to play or attempt to play some surf guitar, that's where I would start my tone journey. Would be clean, reverb, and a tiny bit of crunch, and then also have a fair amount of middle to top end dialed into your sound. So what I mean by that is, on your amp you'll have, generally you'll have bass, and then you'll have middle, and then you'll have treble. So you want to just tweak up your mids a little bit, and even the top end, so that you get a brighter, clearer sound. Because for surf guitar, it's all about getting those lead notes and the rhythm to pop, to really be, when I say pop, I mean you want your lead notes to stand out. So in addition to that, you might want to just go for your bridge pickup, experiment with that in order to bring the top end out on your guitar, but then also try and dial that in a little bit on your amp settings. And if you are using any kind of distortion or crunch pedal, you might just buy a pedal that is called a crunch pedal. But if you're dialing in a tiny bit of distortion, just adding in a tiny bit of crunch effectively, because if you've got a distortion pedal and you add in a tiny bit, that's adding crunch to the sound. If you then dial in more and more and more, then it will get referred to as distortion, but it's just getting that slight bit of distortion. Anyway, you might do that on your amp, you might have a pedal that does it independently, but you want to make sure that it is subtle, and you then just boost those mids, boost that top end a little bit. I would tend to probably boost the mids more than the treble, but it's all up to you what you want to go for with your own sound. But you can start to mirror the kind of surf sound that you want, that you've got in your head, that you're aiming for. Or if you're trying to emulate somebody else's sound, then you can just dial it into that sound. But obviously it's so subjective that it's all up to you, but that's where I would start. But anyway, thank you for that, Steve, for that donation and the question. And just scrolling up, because Linda Z donated £10 as well, and this was an hour before the live stream, so thank you for this, Linda Z. And the message is, hi Phil, you know how much I adore you and everything you do, but John Mayer, his masterful guitar solos and my excellent concert seats must have my attention tonight. See you next time, and I already spiked the lights. So thank you for that, Linda Z, who is out taking in some live music from John tonight, which is great. And thank you for that donation and for spiking the likes. Even though Linda Z won't be in the house tonight, I'm sure she'll be in the house later on tonight with the catch-up crew. So hello Linda Z, thank you for that donation. And John, fantastic player himself and vocalist, one of those guys that plays and sings, and maybe he's somebody we could maybe get on the channel in the future, who knows. But quick shout out again, stay tuned for the book giveaway that we had our guest Phil Palmer on the channel a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, that's what we're going to be giving away for the first time tonight, later on in the live stream, so stay tuned. Anyway, Linda Z, thank you for that. And scrolling up, because William has donated £14.67, so thank you for that, William. And that is a straight up donation without a message, so thank you for that one. Tammy is in the house and has donated £10. Thank you for that, Tammy. And the message is, it's not actually a message, well, it is a message technically, but it's an emoticon message with a waving and smiley face emoticon. So thank you for that, Tammy. And another one has come in, and this is Sue. Thank you for this, Sue, a £15 donation. And that is a straight up donation as well without a message. Just quickly, big shout out to the moderators. I didn't mention that at the beginning of the live stream, but we always like to say a big hello to them in the live chat room for making it such a great place to be and just keeping control of everything. You'll be able to see Neil just going through in a second, but their names are in blue and they have a wrench next to their usernames as well. You'll see Neil in there, and Laurie, Susan and Dennis, Carla. Thank you guys so much for dedicating your time to these live streams on a Tuesday night and a Saturday night. If this is your first live stream, just say hello, introduce yourself to the live chat room. That's what we do, how everybody starts, and we just get to know each other's usernames. I get to interact with you guys in these live spaces on a Tuesday and a Saturday, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time. I know that some of the clocks, the time zones have changed, or one of them has changed recently. So here in the UK, I think it's going to be another 2 weeks until we change. So the best thing to do is subscribe, hit the notification bell, because then YouTube will automatically adjust everything for you, and they'll do a countdown on the live stream page. If you are to click on that notification, it will tell you how many hours until I go live, so you won't have to worry too much about the time zones. But if you wanted to do a manual search, just go to Google and type in time in London, UK, and it'll tell you exactly what the time is, because I go live at 12 midnight, and that's a Tuesday night, technically a Wednesday morning, but a Tuesday night for most people and a Saturday night for most people as well. Those are the times to tune in, just 12 midnight, but that's what you can do to make sure you don't miss any over the coming 2 weeks that we have up, where the times are going to be a little bit different for some people and not other people. But anyway, thank you guys and everybody in that live chat room for joining me. Big shout out to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. If you are a Facebook user, join in with that group. That's where these very cool people hang out between the live streams, and you can join in the conversation there. But another donation has come in, and this is from Ruth, who has donated £10.56. Thank you for that, Ruth, and that is another straight up donation. And Suzanne has donated £18.34. Thank you for that, Suzanne. And it's another straight up donation, so thank you for that, Suzanne. And David has donated £7.34. Thank you for that, David. And the message is, greetings from Philadelphia. What make and model of microphone are you using? So this is a Rode NT1000. So it's quite an old mic. I've got the Rode NT1A, which is the updated version of that, which I used to record my amp. So I just mic up my amp with the 1A, and this is the NT1000. So just in case you want to know, I'm not sure whether you can get your hands on one of these anymore. Like I said, it's quite an old mic. This is what I used to record my whole album. So, I mean, this was for vocals, backing vocals, guitars. I just stuck it in front of everything to get my album sound. And by the way, that was the song at the beginning, my song called Haunted, which is one of my album tracks. And you can head over to wingsofpegasus.com/music if you want to get your hands on any of my music. But you'll be able to hear the album that this microphone recorded, and yeah, it's quite an old one. So I haven't checked. I think probably I looked for this again when I was looking to buy another mic, but I think the 1A is the most up-to-date one. Maybe it isn't. They might have done another update to that, but it's certainly a really friendly mic, I'd say, for studio, but also for voiceovers, for any kind of podcast or anything. I mean, this is quite a professional setup, I would class it as, because I've got the whole boom mic thing going on, and it's a proper condenser mic. But nowadays you can get great microphones that are specifically made for just doing podcasts and that kind of thing online. But I do use this and the 1.8 for recording, so it's a recording mic as well, not really just a podcast kind of mic. But anyway, thank you for that, David, for the donation and the question. And we have another one that has come in from Colin, who's donated £5. Thank you for that, Colin. And there's a message with this one. It says, keep up the good work and get better soon. I'd like to see you try and cover an Elvis Presley or Roy Orbison song when you're well enough to play the guitar. Colin's Gaming. So thank you for that, Colin. And yes, I've never done a Roy Orbison or Elvis Presley cover. What I tend to do with my cover songs, I said what I tend to do, what I always do is play the whole song. So it means that I do the drums and the bass and the vocals, the guitars, the harmony vocals. So that's what I like to do. And having said that, we do have a vote on at the moment in the live chat room. It should be at the top of the live chat room for tonight's cover. And it's between Hotel California and You Know My Name. So the covers that I play on the live streams are just the covers that I have done from the ground up. So I play all of the instruments, and that's just how I prefer to do it. I'm not really a fan of just having a backing track and doing like a karaoke thing. I just like to dive into getting an appreciation for how they've done this, how they've done it in the studio, but how they play it live. And yeah, it just interests me more to be able to do everything myself rather than just sing or just play the guitar, because I think, well, for me, it's not, I don't know, it feels like it's not challenging enough to just put on a backing track. It's like, well, yeah, anyone can just do that, but can you play all of the instruments? Can you do what a whole band can do? I like the challenge of that. So that's what I tend to do. That's what I've always done with my cover videos. So thank you for that, Colin. So if I did do that in the future, I would be doing the whole song rather than just kind of sing over the top of a backing track. But also I like it from the point of view of it's something that is totally unique, that whatever I've done with that particular cover song, you can get 100 people that all sing over the same backing. But I think it's a lot better for having a different cover that is totally different, because you're doing everything. You're playing a new guitar part, you're playing a new bass part, you're playing or you're singing the harmonies. You might be singing slightly differently with the lead vocal, and for me, especially on drums, being quite a basic drummer, it means that I have to manipulate a song so that I can cover it in my own way, which I think is probably a good thing to be doing anyway, rather than just trying to, copy exactly or just play something that exactly already has been. I think it's always good to do a slightly different version of it. But thank you for that, Colin. And Richard has donated £100. So thank you for that very kind donation, Richard, in that PayPal window. And the message is, it's a pleasure supporting your work. Good man. So thank you, Richard, for that very kind donation through that PayPal window. Thank you, everyone, for your kind donations tonight. It is much appreciated. It really makes such a difference to everything that I can do on the channel to just keep on pushing forward. As you guys know, just having the ability to pay the monthly subscriptions for all of the software I do, especially for these live streams, getting everything on screen. I mean, it is quite full on. I mean, people that might not watch the live streams regularly, or even people that do, might not appreciate that everything that's on the screen at the moment I am controlling here. So say, for example, I didn't want the live likes on screen. I get rid of those. If I don't like the likes goal, I get rid of that. If I don't like the live chat room, I get rid of you guys. So this is all stuff that I'm continuing to control while I am talking. So it is kind of multitasking, and looking at the vote that we've got going on, we'll probably jump into that relatively soon. It's 59% for Hotel California. So if you want to hear You Know My Name, make sure you click on that. But if you want to hear Hotel California, then click on that. And at the moment, it is in the lead, but there's only 9% in it. So anyway, thank you for joining me just on the live streams. It is much appreciated, but also for checking out the videos. Just hitting the thumbs up, interacting with the videos, requesting videos as well. As I always say, it is the way that the whole channel works. I'm not choosing videos to do. People are sending me the requests, and the comment section of the videos is the best place for that. You can email as well, but generally the first port of call that I go through are the comments, the comment sections, where I make a note on my phone, because it means I can be scrolling through, reading, marking everyone as I go. And while I'm looking at the YouTube comments, I have my phone, usually if I'm looking at the comments on my tablet, and I have a notepad open on my phone where I make a note of the requests. Whereas with emails, I generally don't have my phone out, or I have to then make a point of trying to make a note of the requests. So it takes me a little bit longer to make those requests that are emailed on my phone. First of all, I've got to find my phone. If I'm doing emails, I'm generally on the computer and not on my tablet. So yeah, the emails, I do make a note of the requests, but just to let you know, my first port of call is always the comment section here on YouTube. Anyway, let's have a look at where we are with our likes. 342. So that means that we are going to be having a pick roulette next week, and we're going to be opening the entries for that after the pick roulette, the book roulette, and the t-shirt roulette tonight. So stay tuned for that. Right, what we'll do is, because we've got so many roulettes coming up later on, we'll have a quick look into that super chat window. Thank you guys for these donations. Let me just have a look here, because Coral donated $10. Thank you for that, Coral. That was a straight up donation. And Jennifer has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Jennifer. And the message is, Phil, if you are always singing flat, would that mean you are deaf in one ear? Thanks. Hope you can have your old drummer on the couch. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And then we've got the same donation again from Jennifer for $5 again. So thank you for that. And if you're singing flat, that's nothing to do with not being able to hear out of one ear. That's just having an appreciation of pitch. And I've said before, when I was learning to sing, my first port of call was to be able to hit a pitch, to be able to hear something and then try and find where that note is, and just try and get it as close as I could, and just, sing through scales, going ah. To begin with, I would go ah, and I wasn't really sure where the note should be. So then you play it on a piano, or you listen to a scale that goes na 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 na, and it gives you a really strict note to try and hit. So then when you get closer, even going ah ah, you can start to now get the muscle memory. So the only difference to what I started doing, going ah, and not really knowing where the notes are, the muscle memory of going ah and finding the intervals where how far you should go up. That's just muscle memory. So once you start doing it more and more, you'll change from not being able to do it and being a bit kind of rough, and pretty much everyone will start like I did there. You're not hitting notes exactly, but it's just practice. Just keep on doing it over and over and over and over again, and then once you've worked your way through it, you can start to apply that muscle memory to the next semitone of scales, just work your way up, even up the octave like I did, where you go and you go and you'll start to get the hang of it. It's all muscle memory. The more you practice, the better you get. And this is why, I mean, the most talented people in the world say that it's not talent, it's just practice. And it probably is about maybe 80% practice. It might even be more than that. And especially with singing, I know, because I learned to sing from scratch, not being able to hit any notes, that it's just repetition. You just got to keep on doing it. So anyway, if you are deaf in one ear, it means that you might even get a better appreciation of your voice being able to hear it inside your head, because a lot of singers, when they don't get the monitor mix quite correct with their live performances, or they might have in-ears and they can't hear their voice, they might take it out and cover one ear so that they can hear their voice in their head. And even if you did that now, if you want to do this now, make a noise or just talk and then put your finger in your ear, and you'll start to be able to hear a little bit of the resonance inside your head. Obviously you're going to lose half of the sound outside your head, but you might start to hear a little bit more detail inside your skull of the sound that you're making. And this is why singers do it, so that they can be even more accurate pitch wise by hearing the voice inside their head. So if you are deaf in one ear, it might mean that on the right hand side you might hear a little bit more inside your skull. So it doesn't mean that if you're deaf in one ear you're going to be singing flat, and if you're deaf in the right ear but okay in the left ear, then you'll sing sharp. It's just getting an appreciation of the note. Everyone pretty much starts in the same place. If you have any level of hearing, you're just going to be having to try and get the notes more accurate with your voice. And you can use a pitch monitor again if you're singing along with scales, and because you can only hear out of one ear, you can't hear the scale underneath what you're singing. I mean, it might just be a case that you have to change the mix so that the scales sound louder than your voice. But if you struggle to hear where you're going with the scales, then you can look at a pitch monitor and physically see or visually see the line on the screen to make sure that you are getting it relatively accurately. But anyway, yeah, the technology exists now, so it's great. Anyway, thank you for that, Jennifer. Rick has donated $9.99, and Rick is referring to his donation in that PayPal window when he says, I just dropped £100 into your PayPal account. Good man. So thank you for that, Rick. That is massively appreciated. Thank you for that very kind donation. And Orlando is in the house, and he says, sorry I am late, better late than never. And the message continues, hi all, spike the likes with some thumbs up. So let's have a plug of the mug, even though we've already technically had a plug of the mug from Paul and with Paul earlier on, but there it is again. Thank you for that, Orlando, and thank you for joining us a little bit later on. So I can see that Susan and Dennis are going through saying, Phil, did you miss a donation from Coral Brune? I think no, I didn't. I did say about Coral donating $10, and it was a straight up donation, so I did mention that. So thank you for that, Susan and Dennis, for just checking and making sure. Right, we will jump into the cover for tonight, but we have to stop the vote to see which one is going to come out on top, and that has gone a little bit wrong. I've now obliterated the live likes. Okay, right, I clicked on the wrong button. This is the problem when you're clicking on lots of different buttons on the screen. Right, let me see. That's the wrong one. Here we go. That's the one, end poll. And I have to click into the live chat room, so I think that's why everything went a little bit wrong. But let me get the live likes back up on screen. We are back as if nothing happened. So The vote for tonight, 59% was for Hotel California, so thank you guys for voting. 319 votes in the end. So we will jump into this. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock!
On the dark desert highway, the cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Overhead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell. And I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle and showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Her mind is Tiffany twisted. She got the Mercedes Benz. She got a lot of pretty, pretty boys that she calls friends. How they dance in the courtyard, sweet summer sweat. Some dance to remember, some dance to forget. So I called up the captain, please bring me my wine. He said, we haven't had that spirit here since 1969. Still those voices are calling from far away. Wake you up in the middle of the night just to hear them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Living up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. Bring her round the pies. Mirrors on the ceiling, the pink champagne on ice. She said, we're all just prisoners here of our own device. And in the master's chambers, they gathered for the feast. They stab me with their stealing knives, but they just can't kill the beast. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find the passage back to the place I was before. Relax, said the night man, we're programmed to receive. You can check out anytime you like, but you may never leave.
And there we have it. That was my cover of Hotel California. I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and thank you for voting for that particular cover tonight and for suggesting it over on Patreon. So we are I always take a little bit of time whenever I finish a video. It must be after the cover video. It's a natural reaction for me to move my right arm a little bit to then start talking again, and then I remember that I shouldn't be moving my right arm, so I moved it very slowly back to resting it on the table. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that cover, and we are 5 to 1 or 4 minutes to 1 here in the morning, so we're going to be jumping pretty soon into the pick roulette for tonight, and we are giving away this book, Session Man by Phil Palmer, and there is signed, there's I think a picture somewhere. I've got 5 pictures. I assure you they are in the studio here somewhere, that I'm going to attach and put in the book as well. And what I was thinking is, with the winner of the book roulette tonight, maybe I can write out a congratulations message in the live stream, if the person actually is in the live chat room. It might work, it might not work, I do not know. But as always, with the roulettes, the pick roulette, the book roulette, the t-shirt roulette, you have to be in it to win it, which means you have to be in the live chat room when your name comes up, because if you're not there, you can't let yourself be known to Carla, and then we can't actually get anything sent off to you to get your details and all that kind of stuff. So make sure that you are in it when there's a chance to win it. I think we are, I just want to go into the PayPal window, but I think we are pretty much ready to get into the pick roulette. There has been another donation over on PayPal. So it's Eric who has donated £10. Thank you for this, Eric. And the message is, Phil, thank you for the videos. Is singing hereditary? Both of my daughters did choir in school. My oldest practiced so hard, and to be nice, never got that good. My younger daughter never practices and has a beautiful singing voice and has done so well in choir. Why can't some people get better at singing? My mum can sing. I can sing in key at least. God bless. So thank you for that, Eric. And I mean, this is one of those questions that I could spend a very long time answering, but I think everybody can sing, everybody can get good at singing. If you think that you can't get good at singing, or you don't see any improvement, you're not either being taught the right way, or you're focusing on the wrong things. And what I've said in the past, I mean, to give you an idea, I mean, my dad called me tone deaf when I was young, in my kind of, I don't know, early teenage years, because I wasn't hitting any notes, and I couldn't hit the notes. I was more into the rhythm of songs, not really being able to get any of the melody or the pitch. My sister could sing, just naturally she could pick up on notes and could reproduce them with her voice, but I couldn't do that. So to give you an idea of what I did, when people say, I've practiced singing, for me, it was, 6 days a week, about an hour a day, and I spent a year doing that to work on pitch. So it meant that I put in, I mean, if you add up all of those hours, the ear and the brain is great at learning. If you literally force feed it the same notes over and over and over and over and over again, then your voice, you will be able to start to control your vocal cords to actually get an appreciation of where these notes are. And especially nowadays that you've got vocal pitch monitors, for example, you can see on a screen where the note is, and all you need to do is, just pretend to be a Dalek, just speak in one note all the time. Just keep on hitting that note, and I'm not going to do it again. I did it at the beginning of this live stream, but just hitting that note over and over again just to see which note it is, and then try and move this line on the screen to see what it's like to go up, what it's like to go down. And I think half the problem is, I mean, a lot of the problems that people have when they start to sing is they'll have a song and they go, right, okay, I love Bon Jovi, so let me try and sing Bon Jovi. And I mean, even Bon Jovi struggles to sing Bon Jovi because it is so difficult. It's way up there in the male tenor range. You might not be a tenor. You might be a baritone. You might even be a bass. So people that try and sing really high up, they don't realize that they shouldn't be singing there. You can build up your voice to increase your range, but they just go straight off the bat trying to sing a song they've heard on the radio. So before you even try and sing something you hear on the radio, you should be able to answer the question, what range do you have? What is your high note? You should know these things before you start to try and sing something. So then when you try and sing a song, you should know what the high note of the song is and the range of the singer who is singing it, because then you can have realistic expectations of your voice. If what you're listening to is within your range, then you can decide, okay, I can have a go at this. If it's not in your range, then either you can decide I'm not going to sing it, or you bring it all down to your range. So, for example, if you're trying to sing Bon Jovi and Living on a Prayer, for example, classic, Bon Jovi doesn't sing the chorus live. He gets the backing vocalist to sing the high notes. So if you want to sing that, you would start with going, oh, we're halfway there, whoa, living on a prayer. That is where you should start. And everyone will say, yeah, that sounds like the song, but it's in a range that is comfortable. Because if you were to try and sing it in the range of the song, you'd be going, oh, we're halfway there. And you wouldn't be, and that's what your voice would sound like. You wouldn't be able to do it. So bring it all down so that you sound like you're singing with your comfortable voice. Because if it sounds comfortable, it means that people listening to it will sound comfortable. If you sound uncomfortable, people listening to it will feel uncomfortable. But it's that will just transfer to your audience. You've got to have your singing voice being comfortable just as a basic. When you listen to a great singer, you never think, oh, they sound uncomfortable. They are in their range. They're making the most of what they have got. So that is something that, first of all, I said that this could be one of those that, I could be going on all night trying to explain. But this is why I think that everybody can sing, because it's all about just doing it in a comfortable range. And a lot of people are practicing incorrectly. They're trying to do things that they haven't got the voice for, and they have to have the voice to begin with to then build it up to potentially, be able to sing songs like those of the artists that you are fans of. But you don't even have to do that. You can bring it down to your range, and nobody will say, oh, it doesn't sound good. Then it's so much better to bring it down into your range, do Living on a Prayer in your range, than try and struggle to do it outside of your range and it sound bad and awkward and a bit screechy and that you can't hit notes. Nobody's going to appreciate that. If anything, there have been so many great cover versions of songs that have been in totally different keys, and that's why they're so good. It's because they bring it down, and now you've got a totally different range. You've got a totally different quality of vocal to this song. And people think, wow, that was such a great version. What did they do? More often than not, they slowed it down and they just sang it in their range, because their voice is going to sound different. Because it is, you can't avoid that. Every human has a different voice. It's going to naturally sound different to the person who sung it in the first place. So, anyway, hopefully I have answered that question. So, being hereditary, my sister could sing naturally, so to a point I would say yes, but by no means does, I would say that you can, I'm not sure about my sister. My sister hasn't trained her voice. So she probably wouldn't be able to do the things that I can do with my voice, because I have trained it. Even though I started off not being able to sing, first of all, I can do a lot of things with my voice that my sister can't do with her voice, because she can naturally sing, but she hasn't got a trained voice. So yeah, I think that even if you haven't got any natural kind of inclination for it, or not inclination, but any natural ability for it, or propensity to be good at it in the first place, you can still get better than people that are naturally good at holding pitch, but they haven't trained their voice. Training your voice is a huge part of singing. Every great singer ever has trained their voice. They haven't just relied on what they were given. They have taken that and worked at it. I mean, worked at it for years and years and years, decades. So anyway, thank you for that. And I would say that your oldest daughter can probably sing quite well. It's just the practice and approaching it the right way. You've got to have your mind programmed in a particular way of how to do it, and really moving on from your talking voice and just doing it that way. But anyway, thank you for that, Eric. And we are going to be getting into the pick roulette. That was a bit of a long answer to the question, so apologies for that. But Carla has donated £5.28. Thank you for that, Carla. And there was a message. Let me just get down to this. Congrats on 242,000 subscribers. Keep up the good work. So thank you for that, Carla. And I will do my best. So let's jump into the pick roulette for tonight. And we have the book roulette going on as well. So we'll jump into this and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock! So let's get the pick roulette up on screen to begin with, and we'll do a top tip for this. Let's see who's going through, and I don't want to pick somebody that I've picked before, but I can't remember who I've picked before, so we'll go for Brooke Hornback. So that is who we are, and apologies for that, because I have a 0% streak of actually winning or choosing the winner. So let me make a note of Brooke. Right. And let me, oh, by the way, the darkest segments here, if you haven't seen this before, these are the t-shirts. So if we land on one of those, then we will have a t-shirt roulette. But we'll give the wheel a spin and see who is going to win. Still going around too fast to see any of the names. We are now slowing down. And let me see if I can get a hold of Brooke's name anywhere. I can't see. Yeah, oh, here's Brooke's name. And it's not quite going to reach there. So it's going to be Treasure Poem, maybe? Is going to get as far as Patricia, and it is Treasure Poem who is the winner tonight. So congratulations to you. You have just won the signed Wings of Pegasus pick. So if you can let yourself be known in the live chat room to Carla, that would be much appreciated, so that she can organise everything with you and get that signed Wings of Pegasus pick sent off to you. So congratulations, commiserations to everybody else on that wheel, but there's always another chance in the future to get your hands on the Wings of Pegasus signed pick. So right, now I should be able to jump over to, here it is, the book wheel, and I'm going to show you guys how to enter in for the book on next week's roulette, on the book roulette, because we have hit our target for tonight. Stay tuned with instructions on how to do that, because as you can see, we've got a few entries here, but I think maybe a few people were typing the wrong kind of thing. So anyway, here we go. I'm not going to pick a top tip for this, because I don't want to curse anybody or make them not win. So good luck everybody for the first giveaway. And by the way, huge thank you to Phil for giving me 5 copies of his book to give away. So we're going to give the wheel a spin and see who is going to win the first ever book roulette for Phil Palmer's Session Man, which will get sent off to you. And it's exactly the same as the pick roulette. You need to be watching, you need to be in it to win it, but then also you need to let Carla know that you are there, so that we can get everything that we need in order to send it off to you. So here we go. The first winner of the book is gonna be D. Emma. Was it gonna get as far as Linda Z? This is close, and it is D. Emma or Demma but I'm assuming that it's Emma, 1972. So congratulations to you. You have won the first ever book roulette. So congratulations to you. If you can let yourself be known in the live chat room. Now, I was going to write out a message saying congratulations, but I'm not sure whether the D stands for a name or whether it's just Emma. Maybe if we do that by the end, I mean, we are going to be pretty close to the end of the live stream. But if you can, let yourself be known in the live chat room and maybe write what your name is or what you'd like me to write, then I can write it out now because I do have a pen and a piece of paper. So I'll keep an eye into... Oh, I can see DMA1972 in the live chat room. So if you can let me know what your name is, whether I should just write Emma on the bit of paper, then I will do that in this live stream so we can do it all live and get that organized. But congratulations to you again. Commiserations to everybody else on that wheel tonight, but also in the pick roulette as well. Right, let me get that off the screen. We should be back to me. So I'm trying to keep an eye on the live chat room because I know sometimes it takes a little bit of time. Oh, and D is my second initial, is what Emma says. Okay, so Emma, right, I will write that out. Right, I will write that out on a bit of paper. And it might look a little bit rubbish because I'm trying to write with my arm that I don't really move very much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down oh, this is going to look very bad. Congratulations, Emma, like that, and exclamation mark. And I'm writing this out, by the way, because I will put the bit of paper in the book with the bit of paper, or with the signed picture that Phil has done as well. So it's all going to be within the book. So that's why I'm trying to do this. Congratulations, Emma. I'm not sure what I'm going to write, but I'll say keep on rocking. That's what I tend to always go for when I can't decide. Keep on rocking! Exclamation mark. And from Phil! Exclamation mark. So there you go. That is the bit of paper that will obviously I'll make it a little bit smaller than that, but I will cut that out and stick it in the book. So congratulations, Emma, on winning. And by the way, you can now enter next week's pick roulette. I can see that a few people actually have already started. So what you need to type in order to get your name on the pick roulette wheel and the book roulette wheel is... Actually, I might just copy and paste this from Carla's message because it says like that. Copy that and it means I don't have to type, which is a big bonus for me. So I'll paste that in there. Right. So I'm now... Well, I've just put it into that live chat room. It'll be highlighted with Wings of Pegasus. So post I agree at Carla Murray book. So I want to make sure that you tag Carla Murray in your comment with the at Carla Murray, and that's how you get your name on the pick roulette wheel and the book roulette wheel. So again, if you want to double your chances of winning, tune in on a Saturday night with the Saturday roulette that happens then 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time as always, and Tuesday, because we're going to be giving away a book on Tuesdays and on Saturdays. So make sure you tune in for that. And we've only got 5, so it means that we'll have one given away on Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, and then the last one will be in a couple of weeks on Tuesday. So make sure that you tune in. Right, let's now look at... I want to give you guys a little bit more opportunity to type and to enter into the book roulette next week and the pick roulette. So I'll leave you guys a little bit more time for that. Let me just reference a donation or two that have come in. So Agent Pepsi 1 has donated $2, so thank you for that. And the message is, if I sing in a war zone, I would be a war criminal. So thank you for that. There are lots of... I'm trying to remember this joke that is to do with singing, but I can't remember it. And it's happened a couple of times in the comment section where Oh, I'm really annoyed that I can't remember this joke. But it is a funny joke about singing. About somebody... it sounds like... Maybe somebody knows this joke in the live chat room. But it sounds like what they're saying is really impressive. But then the... obviously explaining it like this doesn't really help. But then, the actual joke itself, or the punchline, is just contradicting the first part. Oh, I'm really... It's on the tip of my tongue, but actually in the back of my brain that I can't think of. But anyway, it's just a joke about singing, and I can't think of it. But anyway, we're going to jump into the PayPal window. So thank you for this donation that has come in from Chris, who has donated £7.33. So thank you for that. We might jump into maybe a video very quickly over on Patreon, because you guys haven't had a lot of time to type I agree. So I'm kind of... here we go. Here's a joke from John that's come in the live chat room. I can carry a tune in a bucket. No, so thank you for that, John. That wasn't the one that I was thinking of, but I think it's quite a well-known joke that a lot of people just say automatically when they say that they can't sing. But anyway, right, let's jump into the Patreon post that I did earlier to see what people have been saying in there. We have some filled tunes, and we always tend to jump into a filled tune when we're looking to bide our time a little bit to get the entrance in for the next week's pick roulette in that live chat room. But let me have a little scroll up. Maybe we'll have a little listen to The Italian. We'll get that one loaded up. So that is Lalani, who has requested that fill tune. Thank you for doing that, and we'll jump into that last chance, guys, to get your names in that pick roulette and the book roulette and the potential t-shirt roulette for next week. Make sure you do that, because you've only probably got 4, maybe 5 minutes left. But let's jump into a real life story. Hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock!
That sounds absolutely excellent. We'll get the next train down and meet you at the Fox.
What the heck was that all about?
That was the excellent Italian drummer we were hoping to hear from. He loves our songs and can't wait to meet. He's really keen. We're going to London tonight to meet at the Intrepid Fox. We'll get the train. He said he definitely wants the drummer position in the band.
Ruddy heck, that is awesome. Finally, someone keen enough to meet and get things rolling.
I am amazed at how empty this carriage is. It must be a lucky day.
Yes, this is very rare. Normally I would not know where to look and have somebody sneezing and coughing in my face.
Not to mention, of course, the regulation bum guff released into the airtight carriage, making breathing impossible. I'm actually really looking forward to tonight. I think this guy could be the guy we need. From what I've heard, he really wants to be in the band.
Finally, it seems our luck is changing.
I definitely think this was a fantastic use of my last £15 of the month. I don't mind being skinned if it means we have a decent drummer.
Yes, I'm certain he will appreciate us spending £15 each and taking this 2-hour train journey to meet with him.
Precisely. Imagine if this was all for nothing. Ha ha ha. That would be so funny, I would probably guff my own bum.
Ha ha ha, yes indeed. From what he has said, there is no way this could ever end in a clap to the face.
We must be nearly there, as the people are starting to stare at us less, and also the women are becoming more attractive.
Yes, you are correct. Here we are. Remember to try to avoid eye contact with the busker just in case. Here we are. I am so excited. I've been waiting for this day all my life, in a way.
I suggest you keep talk like that to a minimum around here. You sound like a hormone sensual, not a metal rock death voodoo punk of death. Let's go inside. Wowzers. Heck, this place looks a lot more realistic on the outside.
Hey there guys, you are looking for me. I think I want to say. Are you Phil?
Yes, I am. I recognize that Italian accent. You must be Alessandro.
That is not an Italian accent.
Shut your guff trap, you're breaking the illusion. Right, let's get a proverbial beverage and talk band business.
Sounds good to me.
Well guys, we certainly are having a great luck. And getting on like fantastic chums. I like the vibe we are producing with our verbal interactions.
Can I just say guys, you are amazing. And I would love to join the band. I'm in this for the big time. Whatever it takes.
It's only been 10 minutes but I think we all want to move in the same direction and get this show on the road.
We've been searching so long, but finally it has paid off. I think there are some great times ahead.
Oh, do shut up. I'm seriously starting to worry about you. Now, let's talk business. Shall we get a rehearsal booked for say 2 weeks' time?
Well, in 2 weeks I'm heading back to Italy. So, that is not too good for me.
Absolutely no problem. When are you back from Italy? We'll organize it for that week.
Yes, the problem is I'm not sure I'm coming back to England.
Ha ha ha. I hope to heck that you are pulling on my proverbials.
No, I'm serious. It is unlikely I'll be coming back.
Heck. Are you actually demented in the head? How the absolute guff are you going to gig with us when you are in a different country?
Oh yes, I can see that will be a problem. I hope I haven't wasted your time.
Oh no, not at all. We love to travel for 2 hours on the train, spending our money on train tickets and a beer for you, just for you to frig us in the guff, right? Well, we are going to leave now for the 2-hour journey back home. I sincerely do hope you get home safely to your flat just around the corner. Come on, let's get the guffing heck out of this vicinity before I lose my temper and tell him to frigging naff off back to Italy.
It's lucky it's all on film, or else nobody would ever believe this actually happened. Unbelievable.
What an absolute waste of time and money. To top it all, I had to spend my last 30 pence at the Paddington toilets. What a rip-off. I can't believe he spun me. That guff. About wanting to make it big with us. This is the worst day of my life.
And there we have it. That was one of my real life stories. So thank you guys for requesting that. And I did see a comment go through. Actually, there's a donation that came in from Jennifer for $7. Thank you again for that. And the message was, Phil, old joke from my church. The Bible says to make a joyful noise. Some of us make a joyful one, but some are just joyfully noisy. Take care. So thank you for that. And Paul donated $5, and I think this was the one that I was thinking of. That was, I was told I should sing solo. So low you can't hear me. Or I should sing tenor. 10 or 11 miles away. So I tried to say tenor as tenor. Because, I mean, a totally valid pronunciation. So thank you. It was the first one about singing solo. Solo that you can't hear me. That's what I was thinking of. So thank you for that, Paul. And I'm not sure who made the comment in the live chat room, but saying about, I don't know whether this was referring to my sister or whether she'd mind me saying about her voice and the fact that she had natural talent but then didn't train her voice. And my sister absolutely agrees. I mean, it's something I think a lot of people have things that they wish they would have done, and I think my sister realized later in life that she had a natural ability for singing but never trained her voice, never made the most of her natural ability. Because if she had done what I did and practiced 6 days a week for an hour a day, already being able to hold a tune and do vibrato and hold pitch and all of these different things, then yeah, she could have been an amazing singer, but she just never trained her voice. And I know that is something that she won't have time to do it now because, she got a family and lots of other things then take precedence over that. But I think it's definitely something that she would love to have done but again, it's something that you can argue, if you really want to do something, you do it regardless. Playing the guitar, learning to sing, all of these things. A lot of people say, oh, I would have loved to have done that, but they're saying that with now a hindsight of I think loving the idea of being able to do it, not necessarily appreciating how much it takes to get to a particular level, because yeah, it will be 6 days a week, an hour a day for about a year, just to kind of, I did it from literally starting. My sister might not have needed to spend that amount of time doing it, but if she did, then she would have been even better. So yeah, there's that wanting to do something, or I would love to be good at A, B, or C. But you can say people love the idea of being good at something, but when you tell them how much practice it takes, they think, oh, I love the idea of it, but I don't love the idea of putting in that amount of practice to get to that point. And I've always said on this channel how with practice, and when you're watching somebody who's great at doing something, it is greatly underestimated the amount of time they have spent to get to that level at whatever they're doing. Because a lot of people think, oh, there's just so many naturally talented musicians out there. There actually aren't, but there are a lot of musicians who have worked harder than people who had talent and didn't really do anything with it. So yeah, it is all about hard work. And even those who haven't had talent and still have worked really hard have still made they have made a fortune. They have made the most of the level of ability that they've had. They've practiced a ridiculous amount for years and years and years, and they've become very successful with what they have been given. So it's just about hard work. If you just work really hard at something, you will become successful. It's just a byproduct of hard work is success. And sometimes, yeah, it might take 15 years of doing it every day, but eventually it will tell. And as I've said before, that I started playing in bands when I was 19, and I'd say probably 3 or 4 years ago is where the tide started to turn with selling my own music. And yeah, that means that I was doing it for 15 years roughly. And 15 years of day in, day out, just trying to promote yourself, get your music out there, and recording the album here myself with the microphone, doing everything myself and organizing everything myself. It does take a long time, but just keep the faith that you will make it, because you will if you keep on working hard and try to outwork everybody else, and then you will rise to the top. While other people are having holidays and maybe being a little bit lazy, you will still be just chipping away at your final goal, whereas they will obviously take even longer, and more often than not, the person that's constantly doing it will be able to take advantage of an opportunity that pops up. Opportunities don't ever pop up, but if one does, you'll be in a position to make the most of it. So that's what I say. I wouldn't say that I've had a great opportunity at any point, but if one does pop up, like for interviews, all that kind of stuff, like with Phil, the fact that I check my emails every day and have my admin days, it means that I always see every email that comes in. So in amongst maybe 30 or 40 emails, there was one from Phil Palmer's team asking about an interview. And I saw that. Imagine if I was on holiday for 3 weeks and I get 30 or 40 emails a day. That means that every day there'll be hundreds of emails that I wouldn't have seen. Guaranteed I wouldn't have seen the email from Phil Palmer and his team for the interview, but because I'm doing it every day, I saw it. And then Phil was on the channel, and now I've got that contact there, and now I have his book which I can give away and that he signed, and they all just, that especially stems from doing it every day, checking messages, being proactive, never missing an opportunity when it does pop up. Anyway, so, I can see that Emma has just posted saying, Phil, if you could sign the book also, would be awesome. So yes, I can do that for you as well, Emma. So there is a card that Phil has signed with a picture, but I don't think he's signed inside the book, but I will sign inside the book if you want me to do that, no problem at all. So anyway, we are going to be calling things to a close now. So thank you guys for joining me on tonight's live stream. Make sure that you tune in for the video tomorrow night. I'm going to be doing another video on Friday night as always as well. We're going to be having another live stream on Saturday night. So if you want to double your chances of winning, make sure you tune into that, because we will be having a book roulette then, Tuesday was the last one. So Saturday will be the first entry for the book roulette. That happened this Saturday, and then the first book roulette will happen next Saturday. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to work out exactly when the first one was. This was the first one, which means that the first entry was last Tuesday, which means that Saturday we didn't have any entries, but we must have had some entries on Saturday or last Saturday. So we will see. I will iron it out with Carla, and we'll make sure that everybody that's on the wheel should be on the wheel for Saturday. Anyway, I will see you guys then. Thank you guys for joining in tonight on the live stream. Have a fantastic rest of the week. I'll see you at the video tomorrow, and see you live hopefully on Saturday night if you can join me then. But stay safe in this crazy world that we're living in at the moment, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock.